Welcome to Business Hows. In today's episode, we dive into the incredible story of Wrexham AFC, a football club that has experienced both triumphs and tribulations throughout its history. With new Hollywood owners Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney taking the reins, this Welsh club has garnered international attention and become a symbol of hope and transformation. Join us as we explore Wrexham's rich history, its financial and on-field struggles, and the inspiring impact of its new owners. We'll also examine the club's future prospects and how this remarkable turnaround could serve as a blueprint for other struggling businesses. So if you're ready to learn about resilience, passion, and innovative solutions in the world of football, don't miss this episode of Business Hows. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Let's get started on this exciting journey with Wrexham AFC. Wrexham AFC is a professional football club based in Wrexham, Wales. The club was founded in 1864 and currently plays in the National League, the fifth tier of English football. Wrexham has a long and proud history, but the club has also experienced its fair share of adversity. In recent years, the club has struggled financially and on the pitch. However, in 2020, Wrexham was taken over by Hollywood actors Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. The new owners have invested heavily in the club and have brought a new sense of optimism to the club. In this video, we'll take a look at Wrexham's rise from the ashes. We'll discuss the club's history, its struggles, and its new owners. We will also look at the club's future prospects. The history of Wrexham AFC. Wrexham AFC was founded in 1864 and is one of the oldest professional football clubs in the world. The club has a long and proud history, winning the Welsh Cup a record 23 times. Wrexham also reached the FA Cup semi-finals in 1957. However, the club has also experienced its fair share of adversity. In the 1990s, Wrexham was relegated from the Football League for the first time in its history. The club has since yo-yoed between the Football League and the National League. Wrexham struggles. In recent years, Wrexham has struggled financially and on the pitch. The club has been in administration twice and has been forced to sell its stadium. Wrexham has also struggled to attract fans and has had to play its home games in neighboring Chester. The club's financial problems began in the early 2000s. The club was relegated from the Football League in 2008 and has been playing in the National League ever since. During this time, the club has struggled to attract fans and has had to play its home games in neighboring Chester. In 2011, Wrexham was placed on administration. The club was eventually bought out by a consortium of fans, but the financial problems continued. In 2019, Wrexham was placed in administration again. This time, the club was forced to sell its stadium. Wrexham's struggles on the pitch have been just as bad as their financial problems. The club has not won a major trophy since 2005. In recent years, Wrexham has been one of the worst teams in the National League. The club has finished in the bottom half of the table every season since 2015. Wrexham's struggles have been a source of great sadness for the club's fans. The club has a passionate fan base that is eager to see Wrexham succeed. The fans have been brought through a lot with the club in recent years, but they have always remained loyal. Wrexham's struggles have been well documented in the media. The club has been the subject of several documentaries and articles. In 2020, Wrexham was the subject of a documentary series called Welcome to Wrexham. The series followed the club's new owners Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney as they tried to turn the club around. The new owners. In 2020, Wrexham was bought by Hollywood actors Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. But why on earth did two famous actors buy a football club in North Wales? It really is an unlikely love story between a pair of Hollywood stars and the city they've embraced. Why buy any team, but especially this one, drifting without direction 4 tiers below the Premier League, fighting for attention in their own town, lost amid a sea of Liverpool and Manchester United shirts on the school playground? The answer involves boredom and luck, intrigue and inspiration, strategy, and a little romance too. The beginning of new owners. There is a third character in this story. Humphrey Kerr is a British comedy writer and actor, and without him, none of this would have happened. Kerr went to Eton, studied at the University of Edinburgh, and began a career in entertainment with an award-winning show at the Fringe. He appeared on panel shows like Have I Got News for You, before moving to the US to write scripts for TV pilots, and there he worked with McElhenney on his new show Mythic Quest. Around this time, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side were at their zenith, and often during his lunch break, Kerr would steal an hour to watch his beloved Reds. McElhenney would gently mock Kerr's love of soccer, but he was intrigued by the emotion evoked by some of the more extraordinary events that year, like Liverpool's heart-stopping, stomach-gripping Champions League semi-final win over Barcelona at Anfield. During the pandemic, Kerr recommended McElhenney watch the Netflix series Sunderland Till I Die to understand what football was really about and why clubs resonated more deeply in their communities than most U.S. sports franchises. McElhenney sat down to watch with his wife, the actor Caitlin Olsen, but they weren't taken in by the first episode and switched off. McElhenney was gripped by the jeopardy of promotion and relegation, a concept alien to most American sports fans, and told Kerr he wanted to make his own documentary with his own club. Enthusiasm is a contagious thing, and despite his skepticism, Kerr was soon surfing the computer game Football Manager to come up with a short list of potential candidates. McElhenney had made some money with his hit TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he certainly didn't have the billions needed to purchase a Premier League giant. So Kerr identified a half-dozen clubs in need of new life. Hartlepool and Macclesfield were among them, but Wrexham stood out for two reasons. They retained a loyal and passionate fan base still turning out for the National League games in their thousands, and they served a giant catchment area without a major club for miles in any direction. Kerr made contact with the Wrexham Supporters Trust, whom he found in need of investment after the pandemic and open to ideas. McElhenney, meanwhile, wanted a big-name sponsor and reached out to Hollywood star Reynolds, who owned several brands. "I had TV money," McElhenney explained, "but I needed movie money." McElhenney had never met Reynolds, but they had become friends online after Reynolds sent a complimentary message about his favorite scene in It's Always Sunny. Then came the reply that sent a jolt of electricity through McElhenney and Kerr that made them realize this wild, ridiculous idea was about to get global attention. "I don't want to sponsor Wrexham, I want to buy them with you." In November 2020, R.R. McReynolds LLC bought Wrexham AFC for £2 million, following a poll among the club's 2,000 Supporters Trust members who voted overwhelmingly in favor of their new owners. Reynolds could have said that it was love at first sight, that he set eyes on the old racecourse ground and his jaw dropped, but that's not what happened. As Reynolds put it, the biggest challenge was the community going, "What the are these two guys doing here?" He needn't have worried because they were welcomed by a town deliriously bemused by their new visitors. They signed shirts and posed for selfies as people from Abswith to Colin Bay flocked to Wrexham. But the reality was that two famous actors had bought a football team muddling along in non-league, playing a game they didn't know much about in winter in Wales. The action was often a stodgy watch, and it felt a long way from the excitement they'd seen on Netflix. At this point, Reynolds and McElhenney thought it would be an exercise in philanthropy rather than passion. The new owners invested in community schemes and hired voluntary staff, like Wrexham's disability liaison officer. They stayed in the town and drank in the turf pub over the road. But on the 2nd of April 2022, Wrexham played Stockport in the FA Trophy semifinals, and everything changed. The game had all the ingredients: an intense rivalry, a fierce atmosphere, and a place waiting in the final at Wembley Stadium. Wrexham stole the game with a 91st-minute winner that sparked bedlam at the racecourse ground. And it was all too much for Reynolds, who was left sobbing in the corner of his executive box. It was his first taste of football euphoria, and he was hooked. Right from the start, McElhenney and Reynolds were open about doing it their way. They wanted to build a business. They wanted to make a behind-the-scenes documentary. A cynic might see Welcome to Wrexham as PR fluff, which perhaps it is, but then these are Hollywood stars, and this is what they know. McElhenney describes the series as a love letter to working-class communities, like those he knew growing up in Philadelphia. They admitted their weaknesses. Reynolds jokes that your average 5-year-old in Wrexham has forgotten more about football than we will ever know. But know their strengths. They are popular and charismatic, and they can tell and sell compelling stories. Reynolds and McElhenney have deployed humor to great effect. One of the first ways they generated publicity was to promote the club's shirt sponsor, I4Williams Trailers, with a video urging viewers to invest in a trailer for a loved one this Christmas, especially if they own livestock. Reynolds and McElhenney have made a number of changes since taking over the club. They have invested heavily in the club's infrastructure, including the stadium and training ground. They have also brought in a new manager, Mark Hughes, and a number of new players. The new owners have also been active in the community. They have met with fans and local businesses, and they have pledged to make Wrexham a more sustainable club. They have also said that they want to use the club to promote social change. The future. The future looks bright for Wrexham AFC. The club has a new owner with a clear vision for the future. Wrexham has also a passionate fan base that is eager to see the club succeed. With the right investment and the right team, Wrexham can return to the Football League and challenge for promotion to League One. Can Wrexham AFC return to the Football League? Can they challenge for promotion to League One? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the club is in good hands with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.